Most people don't realize how much their personal information is being bought and sold every day. Data brokers are making billions, pulling details about you from public records and the internet, and then packaging and selling it, usually without your consent. That's how your information lands in the hands of scammers, spammers, even stalkers. It's why you get endless robocalls and why ads seem to follow you everywhere. That's where Aura comes in. Aura actively removes your data from broker sites and keeps it off. They also instantly alert you if your information shows up in a breach or on the dark web. But Aura goes beyond data protection. With one app, you get a VPN, antivirus, password manager, spam call protection, dark web monitoring, and even up to $5 million in identity theft insurance. All backed by 24/7 US-based fraud support. Other companies might sell just credit monitoring or just a VPN. Aura gives you all of it, together, at the same price competitors charge for just one service. Start your free trial today at aura.com/remove. Protect yourself now at aura.com/remove.
It's in our blood, it's in our bones, orange and brown, yeah, we ride for our own like a dog pack running. We ain't alone, game day comes, get ready for the show. It's our call, it's our bark, it's our song. We stand tall, yeah, we've been here all along. Through it all, the dog pound standing strong. We all dogs, yeah, we all dogs. Welcome to the Dogs Podcast with your hosts, Blake Reniker, Justin Shawls, Kenny Mack, and Josh All. We all dogs!
Hey, what's up, Browns fans? Welcome back to another episode of the Dogs Podcast. Josh All, your host today, bringing you another guest. I always say a very special guest, but really today's guest is one of my closest friends, a great childhood friend. We've grown up together. We've played sports together and kind of went our separate ways, obviously, after high school, because I went to college and did the typical, let's see how much we can drink this weekend type of thing. And he just went on to play professional baseball. So no big deal. But we got Perci Garner joining the show here in just a little bit. Former Cleveland Indians pitcher from back in 2016 when the Indians made their last World Series run. So make sure you guys hang out here, listen to what Perci has to say, because today we're breaking down the AFC North. That's right. It's a preview of the division. 3 new head coaches, 3 new coaching staffs, a whole lot of different looking stuff for the first time in a long time in the AFC North here in 2026. So before we dive into the conversation with Perci, let me remind you guys, time is running out. If you want to play fantasy football with us this season, get to jointhedogs.com right now. Don't wait. Don't hesitate. Sign up today. Submit your registration for the fantasy league. Secure your spot now so you don't miss out. We'll be taking registrations for another couple weeks, but we are going to have to cut it off a little earlier this year than normal because we've gotten a lot of people registering, wanting to play fantasy, and I have a lot of leagues to set up, create, and get invitations sent out to everybody. So get in now. That is the main driver here. Jointhedogs.com. Play fantasy football with us. Plus, you get access to the private Discord. Hang out with everybody in there 24/7. Online, diehard Browns fan community. The best one you're going to find. And we're excited about it. We're excited to see you in there. Hope to see you in there. And please join us for another fantastic, fun season of fantasy football. All right, let's kick it over to my conversation with Perci Garner. All right, everybody. Like I said in the intro, I've got Percival Garner III with me today. Perci Garner, former Cleveland Indians pitcher and very good friend of mine. We've known each other since we were, 3 feet tall?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Playing Little League baseball together, growing up that way, and then obviously playing baseball in, high school and football and everything. It was a ton of fun. You've been on the show before, but years ago, so we've obviously got a lot of new listeners. So just wanted to get you back on here, and we're going to talk a lot today about AFC North football, because if you guys know Perci, he loves Cleveland. He's a Cleveland sports fan, got to pitch for his hometown team, but he likes the freaking Steelers. Dude. Oh, we'll see what kind of crap people give me in the comments for having a Steelers fan on here, but no, it's all good. We love going back and forth about Browns, Steelers, and everything, and Perci does have some thoughts and opinions on the Browns. It's not like he hates the Browns. So
For sure. Well put.
Yeah. And you're just a cool dude to talk to. So I wanted to get you on the show here over the summer break. I know training camp's starting here this weekend in the next couple of weeks. Have Steelers reported yet? Do you know? You don't know?
Well, I know they just cut down the roster. So I'm like, oh, no, what are we doing here? So, no, I'm excited, sort of. And I know we're going to get into some things, and Tomlin not being there and Aaron Rodgers still being there. But at the end of the day, I'm a Steelers fan, and I'm going to be a Steelers fan. There's nothing that's going to change that. But I will say I'm scared. I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, well, we'll get into all of that stuff because, hey, man, welcome to Browns fandom. That's us every freaking season. We're like, hey, this could be the year. We're scared crapless, man. We have no idea how this is going to go. So we'll talk about the AFC North here. We'll talk about just kind of the NFL in general. I mean, I miss the days when I just lived a couple houses down the street from you, and we just go down to the basement and watch a Thursday night football game, and those were good times, man. But can't do it anymore. Kind of live a little further away. But
yeah, you left me. It's all good.
Did. I bailed. Said I'm out of here.
But no, I'm sure you're happy with your decision.
Yeah, no regrets. But I also, at the end of the show, so if anybody's interested, I got my Indians shirt on today, obviously in honor of Percy being here. And I want him to just go through what it was like getting drafted and making your way through the minors to the Indians organization. That I'd really want you to talk about the day you got called up. Because it's a cool story. And I just like you to share it for the audience. But we'll do that here at the end. First, I want your thoughts on your Pittsburgh Steelers. We'll just start there in the AFC North. Steelers heading into 2026. Aaron Rodgers is back. Hall of Fame quarterback. You guys should be good to go for a Super Bowl run with Mike McCarthy. How do you feel? How are you feeling about the team this year?
To be honest, I mean, it's nothing changed. I haven't went into any season thinking, hey, we're going to win the Super Bowl probably the last 15 years. So I don't think, and every year we're going to have a winning record and get a terrible draft pick and do the same thing next year. I'm just hoping this year, it's a little different. I think there's going to be some excitement just because, new coach at the helm, and this is the third coach that the Steelers had in my lifetime. So
it's crazy, man.
I know the Browns are in the same boat with that, but
we've had 3 since I turned 30, man.
I know. I'm going to try not to throw the jabs because, like you said, I don't hate the Browns. I just and if we get into it, I can give a quick reason on why I like the Steelers too. But no, I'm excited just because for me, and it's going to be hard not to go back to Mike Tomlin and what he's meant to the organization. And this move, even just to me, it shows, he's the ultimate winner. He's the ultimate, just competitor. And he's like, look, these guys need a new leader. I'm gonna get out of here, take a few years off. He'll come back and coach the Browns, and then they'll win a Super Bowl or something.
Speak it into existence. I love it.
Yes. But no, I'm excited for the season. Not too excited about Aaron Rodgers. He's got experience and stuff, but I'm just bored of not having an exciting quarterback where I'm like, and I ain't gonna lie, I was excited when we had Fields. Didn't pan out, but it's just I want some excitement going into a Steelers season. And I don't know if you saw, Ben Roethlisberger's like, hey, let's get Mason Rudolph out of there.
I didn't see that.
He said on his podcast, they got 2 new young guys. And, he tried to throw this thing in there just to make it seem like he wasn't hating on Mason Rudolph. But he's like, he's going to be the best trade bait as well. They're not going to get anything else for the young guys. So we'll see. But I just, when someone gets hurt and we got to throw Mason Rudolph in there, as a professional athlete, I don't like to disrespect other athletes, but I'm just like,
you make an exception for Mason Rudolph, right?
Yeah. Yes. But no, I'm hoping for a great season. I really don't know much about how Mike McCarthy coaches. I didn't pay attention to him when he was at the Cowboys. We'll see if this reunion means anything or they can bring some old magic back. So
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I know obviously that's what they're hoping for. Aaron Rodgers is not the Aaron Rodgers of, age 30 or 34 or whatever. He's what, 41 something? I mean, it's the end. It's the end of the line. So for your young guys though, if you had to pick one to watch, I don't know, try to get excited about, was it the former Buckeye? I know a lot of Buckeye fans out there are like Will Howard. I wish the Browns would have taken Will Howard. A lot of Cleveland fans wanted Drew Aller because he's from the area, Mentor, I think, right? So
yeah.
I don't know. Do you have any high hopes or optimism about either of those guys?
Yeah. I mean, for me, Will Howard, he's like the prototypical Ohio State quarterback. Not that we've seen lately, but when they won the national championship early 2000s, it's just a hard-nosed dude is going to try to get the job done. It's not going to be, C.J. Stroud dropping back, throwing for 400 yards. But I trust him that he's going to make the right decisions. So obviously that's not exciting. But I will say with Drew, I just didn't get to watch a lot of him. Obviously, I watched a lot of Will. I want to see him play. I'm not saying I want Aaron Rodgers to get hurt or anything. I'm just saying I want to see him get an opportunity to show that. And I really don't think that's going to happen. But I am excited for him. I will say that.
So the entire time that Mike Tomlin was your coach, which was it 19 years? I get him and Harbaugh mixed up on the years. Or was it a full 20?
I think it was 19.
Okay. Well, either way, for almost 2 decades, you guys didn't have a losing season. So, and I feel like there were years where he just pulled people to that winning record by the skin of their you-know-whats. Yeah. What happens this year if they have their first losing season in all that time with the new head coach and everything?
I say get it out of the way. Let's get one out of the way.
Get that draft pick, right?
Yes, we need, we've had some good draft picks and we love Ohio State players. So,
yes.
But for me, I'm not obviously I'm not speaking for every Pittsburgh fan, but like I talked about earlier, I'd rather get a good draft pick than be a middle of the road team. But if we're in the dogfight and we turn into a team where I'm like, oh, we might have a little something, I can get behind that. But I struggle to see that. But but again, the Steelers aren't going, well, Percy doubts us, so the season's over. I think it's going to be exciting. It's going to be exciting football just because we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. Aaron Rodgers is old as dirt, and there's some times where he looked like, oh, he might have a Tom Brady career where he goes and then a couple plays later, you're like, okay, he needs to be in the nursing home. Like, it's just you don't know, and I know there's a lot of other factors to go into it. So, so hopefully they can protect him well, so he can get back there and do other than a 2 to 3 step drop and throw a 5-yard pass. Hopefully we can get some plays downfield. So we'll see.
Yeah. I feel like the Steelers defense is always good. Whether it's like top of the league, it's never worse than like middle. Yeah. I think it's probably,
I
fair
guess I'm
to
taking
say.
that for granted. I don't even mention the defense. I just,
yeah. I mean, because the offense drives so much in the NFL, I look at the Browns. They had an elite top whatever, 5, 6, 7 defense, depending on what metric you're looking at last year. Didn't matter, won 5 games. Because he didn't have an offense. So if you don't have an offense to support that good defense, you're still only going to be hovering around 500 at best.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And now you got rid of your best players. So.
Well, we did. Yeah. But I like Jared Verse. I think everyone who watches this show knows, like, I'm pumped. I am pumped to see Jared Verse play for the Browns. But, as far as the Steelers goes, we'll wrap that one up. But, again, I feel like when you guys have been really good in years past, you've had, like, a strong running game with a no doubt RB1 type player. Don't have that right now. Your receiver core is typically 2 to 3 really good options deep. And then this year, DK Metcalf's a great receiver. I like Michael Pittman, but it's not like we've normally seen. It's just a different, I don't know. It's not what I'm used to with Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah. So I feel like Aaron Rodgers and DK they had some good times, they had some bad times. But I feel like with a year under their belt, there should be, because DK is still, he's not, even though he's eats candy every day and doesn't really treat his body like he's supposed to, I still feel like he's got, a few years left in his prime, and hopefully we take advantage of that because we really don't have a lot of weapons, again, to be excited about. I know I was hit or miss with Pickens, but you just know he was going to at least make a play. He might do something crazy, but he's going to make some plays where you're just like, how in the heck did he catch that? And DK, raw strength, and he can get open, and he can obviously he's fast as well, so we can get some plays downfield. So I would say if we can, I know we made some changes on the line. If we can just make sure we give Aaron Rodgers some time, there may be some magic in the McCarthy-Rodgers connection, and hopefully we don't have to rely on our defense. Like, I know the defense is fine doing that. It's Pittsburgh Steelers football, but that's not really fun as a fan to watch. Unless TJ Watt's getting strip sacks, that's fine, because we're like, oh, we just won another 4 and out. Hope TJ gets a strip. And hopefully that still goes on. But other than that, it's just, obviously I can't compare it to being a Browns fan, but it's just, I wanna be on a Sunday like, I got a little Steelers candle that I light. Hopefully we get a victory. No voodoo stuff like that. It's just a nice little Steelers candle. It's
tradition.
Tradition. Yes. And we're gonna have the basement finished, so I'm excited. We're actually gonna have a real projector screen down there, so I'm excited for the season. So if the Steelers offense can't get me excited, at least my new basement will get me excited.
Your environment will do the trick.
Yes.
So the Browns get to host the Steelers Thursday Night Football Week 4. It's the only primetime game we've got all year. But the Steelers haven't – I should have looked this up. I usually know this. I think it's been 3 or 4 years now. Steelers have not beaten the Browns in Cleveland. We're splitting the series every year. So I hope that trend continues. Obviously you don't, but – we'll find out early in the season at least, and then we don't see each other again until, well, I guess actually it's pretty quick. Week, what is that? 5, 6, 7, 8?
Okay, so. Yeah, that is quick succession.
Yeah.
I will say those games are exciting. And, Jameis in the snow, like that was fun. Like, even though I was like, okay, Jameis, even though people compare me to Jameis all the time, they're like, you're silly and you like to have fun. And obviously he was a pitcher and a quarterback as well, but I don't like losing, but I will say those were some fun games, and I missed the opportunity 2 years ago to go to it, but it was just so late. Those Thursday night games, Amazon, like 8:15, like I can't do that. So, but no, at the end of the day, obviously I would love to get back to the old ways of just beating the Browns every time we face them pretty much. But I don't know if it was, the Dogs, you guys, who posted the record of Cleveland versus Pittsburgh sports. I think it was. I don't know if it was you or not. But
no, it wasn't us.
Was it you? Baseball and football hasn't been great. It's not been great overall, not just home in Cleveland, just overall. So
yeah, I saw that post.
Hopefully we change that.
I forget who posted that. Was it like the Pirates and everything? Yeah. But I guess, okay, so obviously we'll talk some Browns and we'll talk Shedeur Sanders, because not at this minute, in a moment, but just to allude to that, you talked about being excited or wanting to be excited about your quarterback, and Aaron Rodgers, obviously, the end. This is it. Like, this is the last ride. So where do we go from here? At least as Browns fans, we've got one guy on the roster who it's like, well, maybe. So it's exciting. We'll see what he can do. But before we talk about that, who do you think is the best quarterback in the division between Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson? This episode is sponsored by Kalshi. All right, Browns fans, we've all messed around with the sports books before, right? And let's be honest, you're always kind of playing against the house. But with Kalshi, It's different. You're not betting against some sports book. You're trading against other real world people. There's no house trying to beat you. Kalshi just runs the marketplace. So if you think the public is wrong and the Browns can make the playoffs in Todd Monken's first year, or Casey Concepcion, Denzel Boston, one of those guys can win Offensive Rookie of the Year, you can take the other side of the market. And then if you're right, that's a big payout for you. And it's not just sports either. You can trade on other real world stuff, interest rates, inflation, even wild weather outcomes. It works like this: simple yes or no markets, your risk is capped up front and your payout is locked in. So if you trust your takes and instincts, and I know you guys do, go check out Kalshi and see what markets are live right now. So use our link in the description or just head over to kalshi.com/dogs, KALSHI.com/dogs, DAWGS, and you'll get $10 when you sign up and trade $100 on Kalshi. Because why shouldn't you guys get paid for being right?
We have the tech to get food delivered in 15 minutes, but we all have horror stories about buying tickets. The Game Time app gives fans the advantage. Get amazing tickets in just a few taps. Fees are included, so what you see is what you pay. And the Game Time guarantee means authentic tickets at the best price every time. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets to concerts, sports, comedy, and more with Game Time. Download the Game Time app and create an account for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply.
Most people don't realize how much their personal information is being bought and sold every day. Data brokers are making billions pulling details about you from public records and the internet, and then packaging and selling it, usually without your consent. That's how your information lands in the hands of scammers, spammers, even stalkers. It's why you get endless robocalls and why ads seem to follow you everywhere. That's where Aura comes in. Aura actively removes your data from broker sites and keeps it off. They also instantly alert you if your information shows up in a breach or on the dark web. But Aura goes beyond data protection. With one app, you get a VPN, antivirus, password manager, spam call protection, dark web monitoring, and even up to $5 million in identity theft insurance. All backed by 24/7 US-based fraud support. Other companies might sell just credit monitoring or just a VPN. Aura gives you all of it, together, at the same price competitors charge for just one service. Start your free trial today at aura.com/remove. Protect yourself now at aura.com/remove.
Which one makes you the most nervous whenever the Steelers have to face them?
I'll say Lamar. I know Joe Burrow's a great quarterback, and it's not him passing me on Ohio's all-time high school passing list that I'm holding any kind of grudge. But it's just it's just that Lamar is someone that I would be able to get excited about, and you just don't know. You have to account for him running, and Burrow, even though they've both been hurt, but Burrow really just hasn't been available for his team, so it's not really he's not really scary that way. He's scary in the fact that, oh crap, he's playing. Our defense better be on their toes. But with Lamar, you just never know. He could pull off some of these crazy plays where you might look like you got everything stopped, and then he could either run for 40 or a touchdown, or you could just be afraid of him running, and then he tosses it over your head. So the backyard plays is what's scary, because our defense is usually locked down on typical scenarios, but Lamar's just a scary player, man. And I know the knock against him is playoffs, but I think I still have faith in him. If I was a Ravens fan, I wouldn't be wavering, but that's easy for me to say because I don't have a quarterback for the Steelers like Lamar Jackson. So we want him. If you don't want him, Baltimore, we'll take him.
That's funny because, we have these quarterback debates all the time, and I think a lot of people, I want to say like average fans, but it's like the media too. They act like every team should have an elite quarterback. Well, if every team had an elite quarterback, there'd be no elite quarterbacks. There really are truly only like 4 or 5 special quarterbacks in the league. I think Lamar Jackson is one of them. Other than that, you really need to you got to build your team around a guy who can win ball games. Like you can win ball games with that quarterback. You got a good defense. You've got a good run game and all these pieces. It's like Sam Darnold. He's not an elite quarterback. They won a Super Bowl with him. Yeah. They had a very good team. They were well coached and everything. So, yeah, whenever it comes to, in years past, the Browns having like a high-level defense, but facing Joe Burrow, facing Lamar Jackson, I was always more confident that we would shut down Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
Than Lamar Jackson. And
why is that from your standpoint? Why is that?
Well, because I think because Joe Burrow doesn't have that threat with his legs. So, the way the pass rush was getting at Joe Burrow, his time to throw, I mean, he basically catch the snap and chuck it. Like out wide, just please God, somebody make a play.
Yeah,
because he didn't have
like
time
me and Maslin.
Yeah, oh, dude, that Maslin game. Oh my God,
that's basically what it was. Where I was just like, and Blake, if you're hearing this, you guys did a good job trying to protect for me. I'm just, I was scared though. I wasn't taking any chances, but I feel like that's what teams were like facing, But now I can't imagine the Rams. That's why I decided I'm just going to play baseball, because I saw Larry English and those dudes. You just don't want to face that. And I'm little. Tom Brady gets thrown around like a rag doll, and he's 6'5", 240. And at the time in college, I'm 6'2", 6'3", like 210. Like, and I'm not fast. So this is not.
No, you were definitely not fast.
No, this is not a good combination. So I was like, yeah, baseball is it for me. But yeah, so
it's kind of funny talking about the size, and then you see 5'10" Bryce Young, and it's like, dude,
yeah, ouch. Yeah,
poor guy.
he's got courage. He's better than me, for sure.
For sure, yeah. But yeah, I just Lamar just has that threat, and like you said, it's his escapability. Because when you're closing in on Joe Burrow, I don't fear like he's going to wow his way out of a sack. Like, you're going to get him. If you get to him, you got him. If you get to Lamar, he can get himself out of anything at any time. And it's just, until he's actually on the ground and the whistle's blown, I never feel safe.
Yeah, I mean, I echoed the same thing. I will say it's never fun when it's like, oh, it's Ravens game. Sweet.
No. And it's always like, I'm like, oh, cool, we got the Bengals this week. Like, I don't care. That's fine.
Yeah. So I would agree. We're on the same page here.
Yeah. So I guess as far as the AFC North finishing this year, who do you think comes out on top? Who's going to finish last? I know you're going to say the Browns.
Have the Bengals fired their coach yet? Or
no, dude. Okay, we didn't even mention that. 3/4 of the division, brand new coaching staffs, head coaches, and the only one that didn't get fired was Zach Taylor. We said that when it happened. We're like, how the hell did Zach Taylor is the only one left?
Yeah. I mean, I'm assuming everyone would think that Tomlin would still be here and Taylor would be gone, but that's not what happened. But I mean, I didn't even think Harbaugh would be.
No, it's crazy.
So it's been turned on its head, but that's I feel like the only exciting thing is like and I think that's why Tomlin did it. It's just, we got new leadership. You just never know what it's going to look like, which is kind of like, okay, this is new and exciting. Let's see what it's about. So, but at the end, I don't know. Browns finishing last. I don't know. This is where, is it my love for Steelers or am I just so intrigued with Shador? Because like, I was like kind of conflicted in that game. Like, don't sack him, Browns. Don't pick him off. Just our Steelers. Don't pick him off. Don't sack him, but just prevent him from scoring. I was like,
score more than he does.
Yeah. But how often does that happen? We had some big scoring games last year, but no, I'm excited about Shador, but obviously I want the Steelers to win in the end. So, but I'm impressed. I don't get how some people, they just either they don't like him. I don't know how you can watch. And I know he has those plays where he looks like he's trying to play Madden and scramble around like he's Michael Vick and he loses like 30 yards. But other than that, he's a solid quarterback in my eyes. But sorry if I'm jumping ahead. I'm just so excited.
Go for it. Let's go into that conversation because I mean, obviously, you played quarterback, great high school quarterback. Played how many years were you at Ball State?
Well, I was at Ball State for 3, played football for 2 and baseball for 2. 1 year I played both.
And then you made the switch.
Yeah.
Okay. But I mean, you've got the experience of playing quarterback, at least at the collegiate level for a little bit, and what it takes to prepare and all that kind of stuff. So you can speak to that. But, I feel like Shador's getting dragged through the mud a little bit right now. And it's from some of our own Cleveland media. Just they like Anthony Lima is one of them. He keeps talking about how he should be preparing for football 24/7. You shouldn't have time for photo shoots or doing music or whatever. And I'm like, All these, talk to the people here. Yeah. Do professional athletes have other hobbies than their sport?
No. No, I mean, sometimes it can be a distraction. If you're staying up late playing video games or gambling or
Kyler Murray,
whatever,
Sorsby. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. There's some other stuff people could be doing.
But for me, as an athlete, we are people who like other things other than the sport, especially when it does get to a position where it's no longer like, hey, I'm playing for the competition and just being a competitor and want to, see who's best on this play. It then becomes a job. It becomes, hey, I'm getting scrutinized for this. They're dragging me through the mud. It's not just to do with sports. I never had to deal with that, thank God. I wasn't as great of an athlete where the media was just focused in on me. But I can't imagine. But at the end of the day, people, I mean, think about this. You go to work. Imagine if you were expected not to do anything else. But just
it's a good point.
Go to work, go home and eat, go to sleep. There's nothing else you can do. You can't like pool. You can't like any other hobbies out there. Nah. Yeah. You just, whatever your job is, that's what you're doing. So when you think about it like that, and I'm sure there's counter arguments, but when you think about it like that, we're people too. We like to do things, but priority is football. I think LeBron was famous for always saying, keeping the main thing the main thing.
Yeah.
And there's been people who don't, and it will expose itself. But when you see Shador interacting with his teammates, I just saw that clip he had where they were just keeping it real with each other. The receiver was like, look, you got to do what you got to do to get in your zone. Don't worry about what it looks like to everybody else. And I was like, that is the truth, though. And it was just nice to see that. And it seems like the players respect Shador. So obviously he's working. If he wasn't working and focusing on football, I don't think he would get so much respect from his teammates. And it's clear that he does. So those people just trying to figure out ways to tear somebody down.
Did you watch his podcast interview on Apple Music?
I did not.
Okay, I just watched it the other day because people were talking about it. I'm like, well, I should at least watch this if I'm going to comment on it. So I watched it, and he said exactly what you just said. Like, she was asking him about his music and stuff, and then, football, and he was like, oh, the music's just a hobby. He's like, some people play video games in their spare time. I like to work on music. He said, it's just a hobby. He said, football's the main thing. Like, that is the top priority. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
I'm fully invested in this, and I'm excited to see what he looks like in year 2, because there's people that say, oh, he was the worst quarterback I've ever seen. Like, I'm like, Dylan Gabriel just started 6 games before he did, and you think he was the worst? Come on, man. Like, people are being ridiculous just for the sake of it. But I thought he progressed in different areas each week. You talked about running backward and taking big sacks. Like in that preseason game against the Rams, I don't know if you watched that one at all, but I'm
trying to think if I was at that. I went to one of the preseason games and I was just like,
he looked awful. I mean, I have no problem saying it. And anybody who argues with that, come on, be real. He looked like garbage. He looked like he didn't know what he was doing. He looked overmatched, overwhelmed. And it looked like, honestly, he kind of gave up on just like, screw it. Like, this isn't working. And I questioned a couple things about him in that game. Or after that game. And then whenever he came out against the Ravens, again, just looked totally overmatched, unprepared. But yet, then he made a couple throws. It was like, oh, okay. Well, let's see what he does next week against the Raiders. And then he comes out against the Raiders like, oh, damn, okay. Like, he can play this. He can play quarterback. Yeah. And each week, like he cut down on taking big sacks and losing yards. And he would throw the ball away. And he made some bad decisions on some throws. He also got screwed over by his receivers on quite a few throws. So
I don't know what you're talking about. Catching the ball and just
here you go,
jollying around and then giving it to the other team. That was great.
Yeah, that was fantastic, Jerry. Thanks a lot, man.
But I mean, to me, it was his rookie year. He was a 5th round draft pick. I mean, I don't know how many other 5th rounders. Because Tom Brady that was a little bit different story. He was a 6th rounder, but I just think let him play and see what happens. But I know there was people out there calling Deshaun the starter like 8 months ago. So
Yes, they were.
Well, I there was some lady I think I saw, and I
It
thought
was
that
Mary
was
Kay
like,
Cabot. Yeah.
yeah. Then she's like, oh, okay, maybe not. I was just joking. But
Just joking.
but I'm anxious. I just want to see people perform, and I don't wish bad on anyone. Like I don't want anyone to get hurt. I don't want anyone to have a terrible overall career. All I want is my team to win in the end. But I hope everyone, has a successful career. I know that's never going to be the case, but maybe that's why I don't play fantasy football, because I hear people like, I hope Adrian Peterson tears his ACL, and I'm like, what are we talking about? Like, come on now. But that was a throwback. That's what I heard in my locker room. When
I was gonna say, it's been a couple years.
Yeah. Yeah, old AP reference. But no, let's give him opportunity. Let's not write off people before they even, play a full season. Like he didn't even get the opportunity to play the whole year. And there were some plays that as a Browns fan, you got to be excited about. I mean, I don't understand it. It's your team. You're looking and you're just like, ugh, I just don't like it. Like, we've had to, I said we've. Oh my gosh, what is going on? The Browns have had
Perci coming to the good side here. Okay.
The Browns have had some bad quarterbacks over the years.
Do tell.
Just give it some time. I mean,
yes, we've seen some garbage.
Someone was just in the news. I really was hoping that person would do well too, but I don't want to drag his name through the mud anymore.
No, we already did.
But I will say, I'm pulling for him. I hope he, because he seems like a nice, genuine person who, really loves football. But there's people with agendas, biases, and they're going to do what they're going to do. And he looks like he's someone who can handle that. I couldn't, but he looks like he can handle it. Or maybe he's just a great actor. I don't know, but he looks like he can handle it. And I'm hoping, he has a good season whenever he's given opportunity.
Well, one thing he always goes to, I feel like when I'm listening to him talk or anything, he always goes to his faith and how he just he really doesn't let the outside opinions impact him. And to me, I'm like, that's really the only way you're going to survive in Cleveland, man. Like it is. You can't be you can't be Baker Mayfield and bicker back and forth with the media and let what they're saying get to you. Like if you're truly not letting any of that outside noise get to you, like that's puts you a step ahead. That gives you an edge.
You don't miss Baker?
I was a big Baker fan. I just it was a love-hate with Baker, Gotcha. Love-hate with Baker. Don't wish him any ill will whatsoever. I think he's a cool dude. He's fun to watch. I just think his time here was probably at an end. I think he needed to go what he went through. I mean, he had a 1 foot out of the league, basically,
Yeah.
You're competing on basically a vet minimum contract with Kyle Trask for your career. Like that's the point that he reached. Yeah. So, and it humbled him, I think. And that's good. It's good to see guys bounce back.
For sure.
But for Shedeur, I don't know, man. Like you talked about Mary Kay. Yeah, it was right. It was even before the draft took place. She was talking, the Browns need to name Deshaun QB1 now and go with it. We're like, what are you talking about? Like crazy stuff. And now today she's on the radio saying Shedeur made huge strides during the spring. And I think that if he keeps progressing, he's got a real chance to be the starter. Like that's why you don't declare a starter in freaking April.
The season doesn't start? Oh, yeah, it doesn't start till later. Forgot.
Like, can we put pads on and just see who's who?
True. That's all I'm saying. And having a QB competition is exciting as well. So,
well, we have them every year. We might not agree that they're as exciting, but you guys aren't as used to it. I mean, you're still new into this annual QB competition thing.
Yeah, true. That's funny.
But yeah, I mean, do you believe that Shedeur's a higher than a 5th round talent? Yeah,
I do. I think that was just a little weird. That was a weird situation.
It was.
But I think people are right when they're like, look, it really doesn't matter now. Doesn't matter now. I will say as a person where being drafted really mattered for my career. If I was a late draft pick in baseball, the early struggles of my career, I would have never had the opportunity to get called up. But since I was a high draft pick, I got chance after chance after chance, and politics kind of worked in my favor. So that's the only time it kind of does matter. But I feel like he's now at a situation where he's got film in NFL games. And if you're objectively looking at the films, I feel like you're like, okay, this kid can play. So we'll see.
That's a fair point, because if draft capital was the only thing, like if that dictated everything, Dylan Gabriel would be in the QB competition with Deshaun Watson. At least he'd be part of the mix, if not ahead of Shador, but he's already out of the picture, Yeah. So, and he was a 3rd-round pick. So I think, like you said, the film shows there's clearly somebody here who is worth seeing what they can do development-wise, and the other one's like, oh boy, that was rough to watch.
Yeah. I mean, I was pulling for Shador the whole time, but I was never like, I hope Dylan Gabriel sucks. Like, I wasn't like that.
No. For us, it was more like we kind of knew he sucked. So as we were watching, we're like, oh my gosh, like just end the pain. Take him out, please. Like, I'm not rooting for the guy to lose. And I think that's another big thing too. Like, people have asked me, well, if Deshaun gets named the starter, are you going to root against him? No, are you kidding me? I'm not rooting for my team to lose. That's ridiculous. I'm not that kind of fan. I'll root for him to succeed. Doesn't mean I'm going to believe it's going to happen, but I'll root for it. There's a difference. Doesn't have to be the same.
You never know. I mean, he was once great.
Over half a decade ago.
We'll see.
We will see. So tell me real quick before we dive into some of your stories. Who are some of your favorite players in the NFL outside of, the Steelers
Shador,
and all that?
Outside of Shador, I would say the people I like to watch, just in general, a little disclaimer, are people that, are unselfish players. Even though some of the stuff could be taken in the wrong way, like if a receiver, if he seems like he's unhappy, he's not getting the ball, people always want to, just point to that being selfish. But in certain situations, you've been all those practices, what your offense focus is on you and what you can contribute. And you're thinking, look, in order for us to win, I need to get the ball a certain amount of times. But obviously, the average fan might not look at it that way. And sometimes there's football games where you're not going to get your 6 to 10 catches, and teams are going to try their best not to even let the quarterback throw your direction. But me, I always love, receivers and quarterbacks. Those are my, and I feel like one of my favorite players that I've liked to watch over the years, and, it's unfortunate he was an Oregon quarterback, but is Herbert. Love watching Herbert. Big dude, athletic. Obviously got a cannon. I'm probably, liking that part just because that's all I had. I couldn't do anything else. But
you did have a cannon, that's for sure.
But I will say, it's exciting for me, and I like for people to look a certain way too. Like when people are doing certain things, like you take Patty Mahomes. He just, I don't know, like obviously he's a great quarterback, but the way his mannerisms and how he runs and everything, he gets the job done. But I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. He just looks like he's in the backyard playing with his little kids or something. I don't know. But yeah, so Herbert, and I also like, who doesn't like Saquon? He's jumping over people backwards and stuff. Even though he looks like a creative player in a video game, I feel like he's also just a good person overall too. And he was getting into golf too, so I like that. But yeah, Saquon, Herbert, and I'll try to put a defender in there. I like, and usually for defense, I like safeties. I used to like certain people that, would come down, could, take your head off, but also had some ball skills and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, none of the people I actually liked back in the day had long careers that I was looking forward to. There's obviously the typical people that everybody think of, like Ed Reed and stuff like that. But right now there's people that kind of mimic those type of players. And I was really excited when the Steelers got Jalen Ramsey. I know he's different now, but he's still one of my favorite players to watch, and he's got one of the best memes ever. So I'm gonna have to say Ramsey, but like I talked about earlier, whenever the Steelers need a turnover, we always know TJ Watt is one strip sack away. Yeah. And I'm still mad to this day that my wife got me and my daughter George Pickens jerseys right before he got traded, and our son got the TJ Watt jersey. So I've never had a Steelers jersey like recent, a good one, because I've always struggled on who to get, and I ended up with George Pickens, and he's not even a Steeler anymore. I think when I got the jersey, it was maybe 4 or 5 months later. I was just like, break. I knew it.
Tough break. I told everybody the other day I bought a Shador number 12 jersey last year. I said, well, at least it's a Denzel Boston jersey in the front.
Can you scrape the?
Dude, I got masking tape. I'll just Boston
there
on the
we
back.
Go.
You know,
there we go.
I think he's going to be pretty awesome too. But outside of the Browns, and I know this sucks that he's on the Ravens. I've always liked watching Derrick Henry as a running back. He's a freak. I mean, how can you be that big? I mean, and now that old, and still just mauling people.
He's scary.
Yes.
I'm just like, I hope a team just starts, they forget they have him in the backfield and just throw the ball every time. But so that makes me, I don't know, how did I say Jalen Ramsey over Kyle Hamilton? What is wrong with me? But you just brought up the Ravens, and I'm like, I know he went to Notre Dame and everything, but he's just, he is, back in the day when you create your players and you create a player on defense, he is the guy that you would probably create, and he could just do everything. So yeah, Steelers, let's get him. He would fit.
I'm obviously much heavier on the offensive side too. Like, I love Justin Jefferson. He's just, I know he's like one of the best receivers in the league, so that's like an easy one. But he's fun to watch. He's fun to watch. Very talented. Christian McCaffrey, I think, is crazy. Again, can do everything, and he's old too now, and it's still, he just keeps on doing it, and it's always fun to watch him play. I as far as young guys go, like, I really like Tedero McMillan down there in Carolina.
Okay.
I'm interested to see how his career goes. Just guys like that. A lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean, guys who have highlights, like there was, just to bring up a wild card who, I don't know what people think of him in general, but he still to this day has one of my favorite highlights in an NFL game ever, and that's Dante Hall playing for the Chiefs. He had caught a little hitch, and he literally juked like 4 Denver Broncos, and 2 of them didn't even know where he was, and he was run down the sideline. And I'm just like, that is always going to stick in my brain. And when you're thinking of a receiver who could just change the game, is just get the ball to him as quick as you can and just watch. Like, he was, and obviously special teams, he could return punts and kicks too. So just fun to watch. And every once in a while I'll pull that clip on YouTube where it's just like, how did that even happen? So yeah.
Got like the Marshawn Lynch beast mode stuff.
Yes,
like,
yes.
How in God's name is he doing this? It's rolling people backward, just insane.
Yeah.
Insane. But this episode is sponsored by Dash Dog Food. Browns fans, Butcher Box for Pets has rebranded to Dash Dog Food. Same great products, same great company, just a new name, a new brand, but with that comes an even better deal for you guys. Now you can get 60% off your first subscription order of the premium slow cooked nutrition dog food or the premium fresh dog food. Just go to dashdogfood.com/dogs, DAWGS, and use promo code DOGS. As you guys know, we're the dogs, but let's not kid ourselves. The most important dogs in our lives are, well, our dogs. And they're not just pets, like I said. They're part of the family. So the question is, what are you actually feeding them? At Dash Dog Food, they believe in real ingredients. Their pet foods have been developed and certified by vet nutritionists to contain zero artificial flavors or preservatives. You get protein-packed formula that includes pre- and postbiotics to support your dog's vitality and their digestion. And speaking of the benefits of Dash Dog Food, Dash delivers their high-quality food right to your door. So just choose the delivery schedule you need for your dog, and you can change, modify, or pause your plan at any time. So try it out today. Your dog will love you for upgrading their meal times. dashdogfood.com/dogs and use promo code DOGS to get 60, not 50, but now 60% off your first subscription order of the premium slow cooked nutrition fresh dog food or the premium fresh dog food. Minimum purchase of $34, 60% discount applies to subscription orders only, one use per customer, cancel at any time.
Since 1989, Mount Hope Fence has set the standard in outdoor living. From decks and railings to fences and patios, we've got you covered. Our lineup features top brands like TimberTech, AlumaGuard, Preferred Railing, and Unilock, along with our own premium Duralux vinyl products. For over 30 years, we've partnered with contractors ensuring reliable job site delivery. Discover quality and excellence in all things outdoors with Mount Hope Fence.
All right. Well, we got a few minutes left here. Why don't you talk about your professional sports career a little bit? You were you a second round pick? That's right.
Yeah, second round pick. Yep.
By the Phillies.
Yes, Philadelphia Phillies.
Yep. And that was what year?
2010.
2010. Wow.
Yeah.
We getting old, man.
Yeah.
You and me, we're getting old.
We are. I mean, I feel it. I don't know about you.
Oh.
You don't look as overweight as I do. You don't look overweight at all.
Thanks.
But these knees are like, bruh, you got to lose some weight, dude. Like that's what they're trying to tell me.
I can't go to the gym anymore without leaving. My elbows are like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm not even lifting that much weight.
Yeah, you just push-ups. Right now, I'm just walking.
Just happy to be walking. Yeah. No, I'm with you.
Wife's getting me up in the morning and we're taking walks. So
Hey, that's cool. It's good to do something together with the wife.
Yes.
But okay, so you spent, how many years did you spend with the Phillies before you went to Cleveland?
So I was drafted in 2010, and as my son would tell you, I got fired. And
March kids.
Yes, March 2015 at the end of spring training, the Phillies they had given me a ton of chances and it just wasn't working out. And it was weird, but because I'd never been cut or released or anything. And the first time that happened, it was a shock to the system. And I did feel like a failure, but luckily, the Indians were kind of watching from afar for a number of years. They talked about drafting me 20 picks before the Phillies, but they ended up doing it, and it stunk. But because the Indians have a great track record for developing players, and the Phillies, they had just won a World Series, and their whole starting rotation, except Joe Blanton, were all-stars and Hall of Famers. And I'm like, well, this is great. Can't wait to replace Cole Hamels, Roy Halladay. Like, what are we doing? But yeah, 2010 and 2015, it was hard. I literally was home for one day, was at dinner with the family, got a call from a 216 number, and was like, I'm making a joke, like, what if this is the Indians, And sure enough, answer the phone. Like, this is the Indians. We just want to see if you're still interested in playing baseball. I'm like, duh, yes. It's been 3 days. What do you mean? And then they scared me because they're just like, okay, hung up the phone. 9 days later.
Oh, wow.
They were just like, yeah. 9 days later, they were just like, hey, yeah, we got you a flight out to Arizona. Like, okay, great. Let's do this. But they were like, you got to follow everything we say. I was like, of course. I literally have no job right now. I'll do whatever you say. So that's what we did, and it worked out for the best. My confidence grew. I wasn't looking at baseball as a terrifying event that I had to put up with every day. And they were just like, hey, throw the ball hard. And I came obsessed with throwing the ball hard, and next thing you know, a year and a half later, I was in the big league. So it was the process was grueling. I will say the first 5 years was that was tough. Coming home like, yeah, man, pro baseball is so cool, and I'm just struggling. So it was a struggle bus, and you don't hear or see that too often. Especially in the sports that most people follow, basketball and football, for the most part, you're drafted and you're on the team.
Right.
You know, baseball, you get drafted unless your name's Cole Emerson. You're from John Glenn, you're just in the big leagues. But it was a definitely something that built character in me, and not really failing in much, and then failing for so long in your career and you feel like it's over. Then you get like a breath of fresh air and your hometown team calls you, and it's just like, it was amazing to get the opportunity to just be signed by them. And then the trajectory they put me on and the programs, it obviously helped mind, body, and, you know, and then eventually I got called up, and that was a whole thing in itself. So, but
yeah, we'll talk about that day. Cause you did you start in Akron?
No, actually, so I was mad about that. They started me. So Krista was like, hey, I'm okay with you playing baseball, especially if it's the Indians, because all their teams are pretty much in Ohio. They have one team that is not in Ohio.
And which one is it? I'm not even that up to speed on it.
And it's not something I want to say a black man is very excited to say, but it's in
right.
Lynchburg.
Lynchburg, that's right. Okay, I did know that.
But Lynchburg is a great place, you know. And it was literally a blessing in disguise. I went, and there wasn't a whole bunch of young guys. There was some, you know, there was one who was a high draft pick, Gatorade Player of the Year there, but it was like a well-rounded team. I fit in well with them. I was able to just come in and worry about baseball, and it was just literally everything I needed. Still got friendships with a lot of those guys. You know, even though I was 26 and most of them were 21, 22, it's better than being there with 18, 19-year-olds. So it was, yeah. And I did have a moment where a guy tried me like, hey man, that's my shower. And I'm like, do you see how big I am? Like, do you really want to do this? And then he was like, I'm just messing with you. I'm like, yeah, you better be. But little does he know, Josh, I've never been in a fight, and I'm the nicest guy ever. But
I was going to say, I'm like, I don't know if Perci would ever fight anybody.
No, not at all. But yeah, so that was, being in Lynchburg was a blessing in disguise. And then the next year I had a horrible spring training in 2016. Thought I was getting cut. They sent me to Akron, thankfully. And I said, you know what? I'm just going to have fun, play this kid's game like it's my last year. And I was just out there. I was loose and not overthinking. And I remember seeing, you know, I felt really good one game. I was like, man. And we had a guy throwing 100 already in the bullpen, Ben Heller. And I was like, you know, I've touched 98 before, but that was years ago. Let's just see, you know, Ben's talking some stuff. So I'm like, let me see if I can throw hard. And I thought the scoreboard was wrong because a 99 popped up, and I was like, I was like, that can't be right. But next thing you know, I have like a 0.5 ERA. It's been, you know, April, May, June. And I'm like, dang, 3 months I've been pitching this well. This is crazy. And I was like, I got to get called up to the Columbus or something. I'm not going to be able to pitch this well for this long. Great confidence.
Yeah, right. Call me up before it ends.
Yes. And then I was supposed to play an all-star game in AA in Akron, but they called me up to Columbus on July 4th. And I was like, okay, great. You know, hopefully I keep this going. In the first pitch, I gave up a 900-foot home run. So that was great. I was like, uh-oh, did I lose it? But I was able to home back in. I became the closer for Columbus when the other guy who threw 100, the Heller kid, he got traded away to the Yankees, an Andrew Miller deal. And I just kind of fell into place and just felt super comfortable coming in late in games, throwing the ball as hard as I possibly could. Somehow it was going where I wanted it to go. And I had that thought again. I'm like, all right, I've been here for a month. I've been dominating here. I am throwing super hard and no one is hitting me and I'm closing games. I was like, this is great. The Indians got to call me up before I start giving it up. And August 31st, they called me up and got to make my debut against the Twins. Got my first strikeout. That guy's still playing. I'm on this podcast with you. Max Kepler. I think he got popped though for performance enhancing drugs. But anyways, I struck him out. So, but it was a great debut. The guys were amazing on the team. They made me feel comfortable, and I don't know if they knew at the time that they were going to make a World Series run. But I had all intents and purposes of making the playoff roster and, pitching in the World Series. But I had thrown so much that year, and my velo at the last game, I think. So I came in and I'm throwing 96, 98, some 99s. In my last game, I was like 88 to 90. So they're like, yeah, you're pretty much,
toasted. That arm is, yeah.
But no, and we just, I just got invited up for the 10-year anniversary this year. So we just had the 10-year anniversary. Good. 16 guys showed up, and it was fun. We had a golf outing the day before. We went to the game, got recognized. If anybody saw it, you saw me get startled by the loud smoke machines. It was horrendous, but it was so loud. And Kipnis is like, I'm glad you went first because that was loud as heck. I was like, yeah, it's very loud. It scared the crap out of me. But no, it was a great experience. Loved playing with the Indians. I wish I could have had a longer career with them. Ended my career with the Orioles, but to this day, other than family stuff, of course, that's getting called up. It was one of the greatest days of my life, and I love hearing the stories from other people. Like, what were you doing when Perci Garner got called up? Mm-hmm. But my favorite stories of all time is from our mutual friend Eric, who we played baseball with growing up. He talks about Ken Rosenthal's tweet, and this was back when Twitter or X was a different place than it is now.
Yeah,
I'll just say that. But it was still good for some truthful, hurtful comments back then. Ken Rosenthal says, the Cleveland Indians have called Perci Garner up. And the first comment is, who the hell is Perci? And I'm like, hey, man, brother, I probably would have said the same thing. What the heck? But no, man, there's plenty of good stories I love hearing. Like I said, I love hearing people tell me like, oh, yeah, the day you got called up, a call off work, came up there. It was lots of people share the good stories, and a very memorable moment for me and family. And, obviously the Tuscarawas County area. Yeah. And then I get outdone by an Olympic gold medalist. So yeah, it gets a day named after him and everything, I mean, a gold medal, can that be really that hard? No, yeah. But no. Shout out to Hunter Armstrong.
Yes, Hunter. I wanted to say Ryan. I'm like, no, Ryan's his dad.
Yeah.
Okay, Hunter. Yes, Hunter Armstrong.
Oh yeah, because I had him on the podcast and you were producing it. So yeah. But no, it was obviously amazing. Love Cleveland sports, except the Browns, and it was just.
You already said we. Come on.
I know. I did slip up, but.
Yeah, no, I remember the day you got called up, because of course, like you get called up, you don't know if you're going to actually get into the game.
Yeah,
that day,
I actually
right?
was hoping I wasn't, because I didn't get to sleep. I was dead tired. I was just so excited. It was like, Christmas or first day of school as a kid. I literally could not sleep.
So you got called the day before or the day of?
Yeah, so the night before. So we had finished playing a game in Durham.
Oh, okay.
And they told me right after the game. I actually thought I was getting traded, so I didn't want to go into the manager's office because we had just saw that Coco Crisp was coming over from the Oakland Athletics, and I was like, my wife's going to kill me if I go to Oakland. And so they were like, they were like, hey, we don't know if we're sending cash or if we're going to send players. And of course, we go in the locker room after the game, and I'm in the shower, and they're like, Skip wants to see it. I'm like, oh gosh. No, not Oakland. And I take my time to go in there. And and someone else comes out like, Perce, what are you doing, man? Skip wants to see us. I'm like, all right. So I go back there and they look at me and they're like, you're going to Cleveland. And I was like, what? I was like, what the heck? I hugged everybody in there. So, it was great. And it was fun just to be in Durham with the history and everything and get caught up from there.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Didn't get to try any of the Krispy Kreme. I was really excited about some Krispy Kreme donuts, but.
Got to stay trim.
For that
debut.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember they were showing you down on the sideline before the game, kind of talking to people and everything. I remember because I was at my house. I'm like, okay, I'm not watching a ton of Indians games throughout the summer or anything, but I'm like, I'm watching this one. We'll see if he gets in the game. I'm like, man, there's Percy. And then right before the game, my dad calls me and he's like, hey, me and your mom are going up to the game. Do you see Percy's? I'm like, yeah. They just happened to have tickets for that game, so they were up there too.
Oh, wow.
And I'm watching on the TV and 10 rows behind you there. I'm like, well, there's my mom and dad sitting because my dad's texting me. He's like, hey, Percy's right down here. I'm like, I know, I'm watching. And then of course you come into the game, that same night. I was like, this is freaking awesome, man.
Yeah, dude, my heart was pounded just because Cody Allen's the closer. We're up 3. It's the bottom of the 8th. Or no. Yeah, it was the bottom of the 8th, and Cody Allen's getting warmed up to go in the game, and we end up scoring 2 more runs. So then it became a 5-run lead, and the phone rang, and I'm like, oh, damn. I'm like, who they calling in now? Because certain people, when Cody's the closer, and the save opportunity, he's going in. And as soon as that phone rang, I looked down, and my heart was like, and I was like, oh, my gosh. They're like, Percy, get ready. I was like, and then Cleveland's got 18 flights of stairs to get to the bullpen. And man, so all I could think about was not falling on my way to the mound. Because you got to go up those stairs, then you got to get warm real fast, and then you got to run all the way down the stairs and then run all the way to the mound. I ain't gonna lie. I was breathing heavy. I was like, man, hopefully I can throw some strikes because I can't breathe right now.
That's a crazy story for your first time too. Yeah, I can't even imagine the heart beating, the butterflies, the adrenaline, just all that stuff mixing together. But
it was good. I haven't had that in a while. I haven't had the butterflies in a long time. I think when I thought I was going to get drafted, I was supposed to go first round to the Red Sox, and when that pick came up, dude, the butterflies in my stomach were crazy. And then I just went a long time. Even my debut, in minor leagues, I wasn't crazy. But man, yeah, that big league debut was different.
Yeah, I can't even imagine, man. It's so cool. Yeah. But I hope everybody enjoyed the story, hearing from Percy here. And let us know in the comments your thoughts and feedback on the AFC North breakdown, some of your opinions, who you guys think are going to finish, 1st through 4 in the division, all that kind of stuff. If you want to hear more from Percy, he's got a podcast, 99 mile per hour. I said it'd been nice if you could hit 100 one time.
I tried.
We were trying to come up with a name for Percy's show, and I was like, well, what's the fastest you ever threw? 99. Okay, let's just go with that. But
yeah, I'm glad you did that, Josh, because I was just going to name it the Perci Garner Show. So I'm glad you did that. Way better name.
Yeah, Percy's got a ton of episodes out there too. Nothing super recent though, right? Or have you had a few recently?
I think my last guest was Ryan Gruhl, who lost 300 pounds riding a bike. He was just in Bicycle magazine article too. They did around him. So yeah. So he's the last one I think I had on there. And I think the last few were him, Ted Ginn, that we shot together, you produced, which is one of the most fun podcasts I've ever done. So that was
a good day. That was a fun time.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you guys want to hear more from Percy, go check out his podcast, 99 Mile Per Hour with Perci Garner. You interview a lot of cool people, and it's always a fun conversation. So I miss doing those episodes with you.
Yeah. Those were the good old days when you made me do this.
I did. I forced you. I forced Percy to start a podcast.
I'm glad you did.
I know. But I guess real quick, let's talk about this. We got Carlos Baerga. There's an event coming up, Tuscarawas County Browns backers. Real quick before we get Percy out of here, just want to mention this Saturday, August 1st, not the 8th, which is what I was determined it was going to be. Saturday, August 1st, from 12 to 2 at Shenanigans Bar and Grill in Dover, Ohio. Go get autographs, hang out, meet Carlos Baerga. It's going to be a really cool event. And you are trying, fingers crossed, hopefully going to have him on the podcast.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. He works for the Indians or the Guardians and the Braves, where he's working with broadcasting their games. I think when Cleveland's away, he's doing Atlanta. I don't know. He's crazy schedule. If we can make it happen, that'd be amazing. But if not, I'll just see him with everyone else on August 1st. Yeah.
Well, hopefully you do. And if you do get an opportunity to have him on the podcast, I will share the link around for everybody too.
Appreciate that.
Yep. So we'll see everybody Saturday, August 1st. If you want to, you guys can meet us. Well, I'm sure some of us will be there from the Dogs. Bearded Browns will be there. Percy will be there. So it'll be a good time. But all right, man. Well, I appreciate you sitting down and shooting the crap with me here for a little bit. This was fun.
Yeah, it was fun. Thanks for having me.
So thanks again to my good friend Percy for joining me on the podcast today to break down the AFC North. I'm sorry, everybody. Don't be too upset with me for bringing a Pittsburgh Steelers fan onto the show. Like he said, he's a big Shedeur Sanders fan, and he is a Cleveland sports fan, obviously played for the Cleveland Indians. So he's got experience in that, realm of professional sports in Cleveland. And it's just always great to have that perspective and to pick his brain. And he's just a great guy. I mean, he's hilarious. Percy's one of the funniest people I know. So if you want to hear more from him, go check out the 99 Mile Per Hour podcast that I did kind of bully him into starting back in 2020. But I bullied him for the right reasons, everybody. Don't get it twisted. He really wanted to start a podcast, just needed that little nudge, and we got it going. But that was a great podcast that he does. So go check that out. And thanks again for tuning in today. Pay attention. Stay tuned this week. We got training camp stuff coming up. The veterans are going to be reporting. We've already got the quarterbacks. The rookies are there. We've got clips and highlights from here over the weekend. It's been a great start. And I'm very excited to finally have Cleveland Browns football back on a freaking football field and not just talking hypotheticals. So we can actually break down things that are actually taking place. Finally, jointhedogs.com. One last time, I'll remind you guys, sign up for fantasy football now. Don't wait. Lock in your place, and you'll be good to go for the season. So that's jointhedogs.com. Have a great rest of your weekend, everybody. A great start to your week, and we should be back. I don't see why we wouldn't be Tuesday night live on YouTube to preview and talk about some more stuff with training camp and other news that's been coming out. We'll see you guys then. Go Browns.
It's in our blood, it's in our bones, orange and brown, yeah, we ride for our own like a dog pack running. We ain't alone, game day comes, get ready for the show. It's our call, it's our bark, it's our song. We stand tall, yeah, we've been here all along. Through it all, the dog pound standing strong. We all dogs, yeah, we all dogs. Thanks for listening to another episode of the Dogs Podcast. Follow us on social media at the Dogs Podcast and join our dog pack community at jointhedogs.com. We are dogs!
This episode is sponsored by ISSA. Browns fans, if you're into health and fitness, have you ever wondered how you could maybe turn those hobbies and your passion into an actual career? If that sounds interesting to you, then ISSA has the opportunity you've been looking for. ISSA is the International Sports Science Association, and they can help you become a certified personal trainer in as little as 3 months. And right now you can get $100 off your certification when you sign up through our link, joinissa.com/dogs, DAWGS. Now, certifications are 100% online, self-study, and self-paced. You can study anywhere from your phone, tablet, or computer. And the final exam is open note, open book, aka piece of cake. Except you fitness nuts probably don't eat a ton of cake, so let's just call it a piece of delicious protein bar. And ISSA has the #1 job guarantee in the industry. If you get certified and sign up to be a certified trainer with ISSA, you have a job guarantee or your money back. ISSA has over 10,000 gym partners that have over 73,000 open jobs for trainers right now. And you don't need a 4-year degree or a 2-year degree. You just need your certification to qualify for these jobs. So what are you waiting for? With certification this simple, there's no excuse not to pursue your passion and become a certified personal trainer today. Get $100 off your certification at joinissa.com/dogs. You've wanted to make a change long enough. Now it's time to do something about it. That's joinissa.com/dogs for $100 off your personal trainer certification.
Most people don't realize how much their personal information is being bought and sold every day. Data brokers are making billions pulling details about you from public records and the internet, and then packaging and selling it, usually without your consent. That's how your information lands in the hands of scammers, spammers, even stalkers. It's why you get endless robocalls and why ads seem to follow you everywhere. That's where Aura comes in. Aura actively removes your data from broker sites and keeps it off. They also instantly alert you if your information shows up in a breach or on the dark web. But Aura goes beyond data protection. With one app, you get a VPN, antivirus, password manager, spam call protection, dark web monitoring, and even up to $5 million in identity theft insurance, all backed by 24/7 US-based fraud support. Other companies might sell just credit monitoring or just a VPN. Aura gives you all of it, together, at the same price competitors charge for just one service. Start your free trial today at aura.com/remove. Protect yourself now at aura.com/remove.